This is Mr. Wright. Today we are going to talk about translations. So translation is a type of transformation. A transformation is when objects or points move within a coordinate plane. So a translation is when you slide the figure. So if you look at this first example, this figure that looks like a flag, it just slides down. That would be an example of a translation. So there are some different important things we have to know about transformations. So when you see this, so when you go from the original figure, that's called the preimage. So my preimage is just going to use normal letters. So A, B, C, D, E. When you go to the new image, the new figure, that's going to be called the image. That's after the transformation has taken place. You'll see these apostrophes after each letter. So the way that we read that is A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime, E prime. So you just say prime after the letter. So you know that that's like the new figure after the transformation. Okay, so the way that we figure out like translations, you just kind of count how far it moved. So you pick any point you want to start at. So I'm just going to start at, I'll pick point E. Okay, so it doesn't matter which one you start at. And you count how far does it get you, or how many spots to get to E prime. So you have to go from E to E. You have to go start at one letter, go to the same letter. So to go from E to E prime, I count, so I start there, then I start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I went down 9. So we can write a rule for this. There's two ways to write the rule. We can do an XY rule. So when you're doing an XY rule, you want to, if it's down, the Y, that is the Y axis goes up and down. So if it goes down 9, that means that the X stayed the same and the Y went down by 9. There's also a special notation where you can just do a capital T, that stands for translation, and then you just do how much the X and the Y moved. So because we didn't go left or right, the X would be 0 and the Y would be -9. So both of those mean the same thing. The next one, there's two transformations going on. So we call this like an oblique translation because it goes left or right and up or down. So if I just pick a point, let's say I start at point C, this time it goes right and down. So it goes right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right 10 spots. Then it goes down 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so when it goes right, that means that the X is increasing by 10. Then down 4, my Y-axis is going down. So my XY rule would be X plus 10, Y minus 4. So if it's increasing, you do plus. If it's decreasing, you do minus. So left or right always goes with the X. Up or down always goes with the Y. If I use that other notation, we just use those two numbers. You do a capital T, then in small print, you do 10, -4. So they both mean the same thing. You have your XY rule and that special transformation notation. So doing this on a graph, if I give you an example, so translate 4 units to the right and 2 down. First, I'm just going to kind of think of like, what's my XY rule? That would be X plus 4, Y minus 2. So from each point, I'm going to go 4 right and 2 down. So if I start at A, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I only went 1 down. So from A, we go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, 1, 2, 2 down. So this would be A prime. From B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So this point would be B prime. Do the same thing from C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So you do the same thing from each point to graph the new figure. If I just give you coordinates, then you just add or subtract to the X and the Y for each coordinate. So my XY rule would be if I go 7 left, left is negative, so I do X minus 7, and 4 up would be positive y plus 4. So for each x, I'm going to minus 7. So each ordered pair, the first number is the x, I minus 7. And for each y, I'm going to add 4. So plus 4, plus 4, plus 4. So I do that to each ordered pair, figure out my new numbers. So for a prime, it would be negative 11, 11. If I just do this to the x and the y. 12 minus 7 is 5. Negative 8 plus 4 is negative 4. So that would be b prime. Negative 1 minus 7 is negative 8. 9 plus 4 is 13. So whatever the x tells you to do, that's what you do to the x coordinate, and you do whatever's to the y coordinate. Here's just another example from a graph. So again, you pick a point, any point, and you figure out like what do you do to get to the same point with the prime. So if I go from b to b prime, I go left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 1, 2, 3. So left 5. I like to just like write this out. Up 3. Then I know left is going to be I minus from the x. Up, I add to the y. And this same rule in the transformation notation would be negative 5, positive 3. It's just whatever these two numbers are. Those are the two numbers we do in the parentheses. And that's how you do translations. Actually, I have to show you one more thing. So if we have this special notation, this transformation notation, if you have multiple translations, all you would do is add like the two x's. So like 3 plus 1 is 4, negative 2 and negative 1 is negative 3, to put them together. So if I put these together, negative 4 and negative 2 would be negative 6. 0 and 5 would be 5. That's it.